response. No one can know in advance what that response should be. By definition, then, leading innovation cannot be about creating and selling a vision to people who are somehow inspired to execute that vision. So common is this notion of the leader as visionary that many of those we studied had to rethink and recast their roles before their organizations could become truly and consistently innovative. What we observed across all the diverse individuals and organizations we studied was a surprisingly consistent view of the leader's role in innovation, which can be expressed this way. Instead of trying to come up with a vision and make innovation happen themselves, a leader of innovation creates a place, a context, an environment where people are willing and able to do the hard work that innovative problem-solving requires. One of the leaders we studied neatly summed this up by repeating a line he'd heard from a CEO he admired. "My job," he said, "is to set the stage, not to perform on it." Based on what we saw in our research, we present in Collective Genius a framework that you and other practicing leaders can apply to set the stage. That is, to create a place where people are willing and able to innovate time and again. That framework is reflected in the flow of chapters ahead. Why innovation requires a different kind of leader. The first 3 chapters open by looking in depth at Pixar Animation Studios, a company with a formidable innovation track record. During the period we studied, Pixar was able to produce hit film after hit film, each one an innovative tour de force. Because its work is so widely known, Pixar is an ideal choice for showing what's required to transform the individual efforts of hundreds of people, all those slices of genius, into a single, coherent work of collective genius. In Chapter 2, we explore the unavoidable tensions and conflicts built into the innovation process, which explain both why innovation is so rare and difficult and why it requires leadership. But what kind of leadership? In Chapter 3, we paint a detailed portrait of a CEO who went far beyond the conventions of good leadership to turn a declining Indian computer company into an international dynamo of IT innovation. The chapters that follow focus on what leaders of innovation actually do to foster creative genius. They are organized around the 2 great tasks we saw our leaders perform. In Part 1, Chapters 4 and 5, we show what they did to create organizations willing to innovate. In Part 2, Chapters 6 through 8, we show how they created organizations able to innovate. What leaders do? They create organizations willing to innovate. It's tempting to believe that people and organizations are naturally eager to create something new and useful, when, in fact, they often are not. The diversity innovation thrives on, the conflict of ideas and options it requires, the patience it needs to test and learn from multiple approaches, and the courage it demands to hold options open until possibilities can be integrated in new and creative ways. All these things can make innovative problem-solving feel awkward, stressful, and even unnatural. Without leadership, internal forces common to virtually all groups will stifle and discourage innovation, in spite of everyone's rhetoric about how much they want it. In Part 1, we show how our leaders overcame these destructive forces by creating communities whose members were bound by common purpose, shared values, and mutual rules of engagement. What leaders do? They create organizations able to innovate. The organizational ability to innovate is equally important and, unfortunately, equally difficult.